What made you want to stop designing cards? And this question is from Nick at Elemental Playing Cards.
Oh, thank you, Nick. Hi, Nick. Brother from another mother.
Yeah.
So basically, what made me start? Okay, I was at a point where I was obviously in my job. I was a graphic designer, and it was kind of all around the same time. I kind of saw Kickstarter, and it was like, whoa, this is like people design playing cards. I didn't know this existed. Like the first deck I ever saw on there, I was like, I have to buy this because I will never see this again. This is so rare. It was the Midnight Bowler-Rama cards by Randy Butterfield. And they're really nice. They're discolored now because I left them on the windowsill for too long, which is really dumb. Don't do that. Don't leave cards on the windowsill.
I should probably move mine then.
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of like I saw like a hole in the market in terms of there was no typographic decks on Kickstarter anyway that I knew about. And I wanted to find a way to combine something I really love doing, design, with something I knew nothing about, and it's these 52 little posters that you can turn into something else. So that's kind of where it started. Oh, and I kind of like started watching the Penn and Teller Full Arts at the same time. One of my friends like introduced me to that, so I was like, oh, this is like really, it all kind of came together at once.
Nice. So cool. So yeah, that explains. I actually had a similar question. I think a lot of people were kind of curious because you've mentioned to me in the past, through conversation, that you've never really been into cardistry necessarily, just because of like finger dexterity, and then like getting into Magic. So that's an interesting way to kind of get introduced to cards, is just scrolling through Kickstarter. So
it was kind of like, I mean, before the grid deck, there was like I did like another quick deck, Hawk Playing Cards, where it was. I just saw an idea, I just ran with it. I didn't really know much about cards or anything to do with it. I just thought I just have to do this idea before someone else does it. And I put it up. I didn't know anything about printers. I didn't do my research properly. And like, I'll hold my hand up and say it, because when you're starting out, especially on Kickstarter, and I think a lot of people are finding this, you don't necessarily know where to start or how to do a deck.
Yeah.
Right.
So for someone who knew nothing about cards and nothing about Kickstarter, I was like the prime example of someone who was going to screw up. But it would like, so I don't know, it went up. It was getting funded. There was like some issues with it, some mistakes with it, and I took it down. And actually, a really interesting story on this is it got reviewed by icollectplayingcards.com, and actually the owner of that, Jill, she's fantastic. I talked to her now, we're good friends. She basically gave it a review, blasted it, completely blasted the deck, and I was like, I didn't know about it at the time. Well, I took the Kickstarter down, left it. I thought, I'll maybe it's not for me. I'll come back another day. And it was like, however long after, I was just like, I just typed in the name of my playing cards on Google, and it came up with this review. I was like, oh my god, that is so embarrassing. So I reached out to her, and it was nice. She got back to me, and we had like a frank and open chat about everything. And actually, it was by doing that it made me even more determined to like do a deck and do it right and do the research. And I was really lucky to talk to Josh from Byworthy, fantastic guy. Yeah. And in fact, without him and without Jill, I wouldn't be doing it now, because they gave me either the motivation or the knowledge to do it. So yeah, I think finding out how to start doing stuff and doing your research is like a really, really good idea.